This is your Barbados Today Evening News Update for Friday, August 7th. Tourism and International Transport Minister Senator Lisa Cummins tells the country she's sorry following her controversial appearance in the Senate on Wednesday. Senator Cummins, along with Minister of Health Lieutenant Colonel Jeffrey Bostic and other officials, were asked to self-isolate as a precautionary measure since 9 nurses from Ghana, who they met last Thursday at the Grantley Adams International Airport, tested positive for COVID-19. On Wednesday, Cummins, who tested negative for the virus, returned to the upper chamber after being cleared by the chief medical officer, but it prompted a walkout by 5 senators who expressed concern about her return. Senator Cummins criticized the walkout, but this evening she admitted she did not make the right decision.
COVID-19, as all of us, certainly especially those of us in policymaking and who have interacted with this in any way, shape or form over the last few months, has been a global pandemic that has resulted in anxieties, fears, concerns, and genuine discomfort for many people the world over. Barbados has been no different. To that extent, I'm comfortable that it is the right thing to do to apologize. I've always prided myself on the ability to make proper decisions, measured choices, sensible choices that take into account not just myself, but those around me. And I wish that on this occasion, I could have made a different decision. If I had to do it all over again, I most certainly would.
During Wednesday's sitting, the much-anticipated Integrity in Public Life Bill was not passed because it failed to get the 14 votes required. Senator Cummins expressed her disappointment at the development.
The Integrity Bill is perhaps one of the most important pieces of legislation that we had before us. Long before I even came to government, integrity in public life was one of the key things that I spent a lot of time and effort and resources on because I believe in it. I believe it's important to who we are as a people. I believe it's important to Barbados. And I'm deeply disappointed that we were unable to get the support of everyone around this important piece of legislation. We have invested a significant amount of time in consultations and in resources to ensure that we had the best piece of legislation that covers all aspects of integrity in public life. I remain committed to ensuring that this piece of legislation becomes a part of the government's arsenal to ensure that we protect the people of Barbados. But that's not what this is about. This is about ensuring that even in our own affairs, even in our own actions, that we ourselves practice integrity and we do the right things for the right reasons at all times. And so without hesitation, I wish to say, I apologize.
In other news this Friday, former Prime Minister, the Right Honourable Owen Arthur, will be laid to rest next Friday in his hometown St. Peter, where he served as MP for more than 3 decades. The state funeral will be held at the St. Peter Parish Church at 2 p.m. The details were outlined this evening by Minister of Labour and St. Peter NP Colin Jordan, who is coordinating the funeral.
The body of former Prime Minister Arthur will lay in state on Wednesday, August 12th, and Thursday, August 13. It will lay in state between the hours of 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. And during that time, the condolence book at Parliament Buildings in Bridgetown will be available for signature. It is to be noted that the casket will be closed. Again, this is in keeping with the wishes of former Prime Minister Arthur. On the day of the funeral service, the cortege will leave Lyndhurst Funeral Home, will proceed through Bridgetown. There will be a stop at Parliament Buildings, a pause for 1 minute at Parliament Buildings. Then the cortege will proceed to Speightstown, passing Kensington Oval. We all know that former Prime Minister Arthur was a very avid cricket fan, very instrumental in the redevelopment of Kensington Oval leading up to the 2007 series. And the cortege will pass Kensington Oval along Mighty Granny Highway and Highway 1 up to Speightstown. There is going to be additional information on some more detail on the route, but that will be given early next week.
Barbados has declared it is ready to fight the European Union tooth and nail in court if the bloc fails to review its blacklisting. Attorney General Dale Marshall made the declaration in Parliament today during debate before the Standing Finance Committee. He said the government has asked Brussels for talks since last year, but they have not happened.
We are prepared, if necessary, to litigate the EU stance in various international fora. Not just because it has the ability to cripple our financial system, but because of the principle which says that you cannot judge and convict a man unless he has an opportunity to be heard.
Leader of the opposition, Bishop Joseph ATHERLEY, today blasted government for paying out close to $47 million in fees to consultants. He opposed the House of Assembly's Standing Finance Committee's approval of $314,000 supplementary for technical assistant consultancy fees for the government's senior economic advisor, Dr. Kevin Greenidge.
We operate in a context where this government, having criticized the last administration for the multiple millions spent on consultancy fees, which is about 20 million or so, has gone upward of $47 million in consultancy fees. We just finished debating a resolution which spoke to the payment of consultancy fees again. I supported that one. And all I'm saying is you can't start by saying this one is a simple and straightforward matter. You're taking the Parliament for granted.
It was a special day for one of the island's leading educators. Today, the hall at the ATHERLEY School was renamed the V. Eugene Baratow Auditorium in honor of Professor the Most Honorable Eugene Baratow, a former student of the school, who is the Pro-Vice Chancellor and Principal of the University of the West Indies, Cayfield campus. Professor Baratow, who marked the special occasion with officials, family, colleagues, and friends, expressed deep gratitude for the honor.
ATHERLEY Comprehensive School provided me with the secondary education that became the foundation for all that I achieved later in life. As principal of the Cayfield campus, I seek to create opportunities for students fully aware of the multiple doors that were open to me. So today, I say to Lieutenant Colonel Braffett, the Board of Management, all the members of staff and the current students, thank you. I am humbled and I am extremely grateful. Thank you to all of you for coming today. Thank you.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
To regional news now, the U.S. Centers for Disease Control has issued a Level 3 warning for Jamaica as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic. But the Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says it's not a worrying development at this stage. More in this report from Television Jamaica.
On Thursday, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, warned that COVID-19 risk in Jamaica is high. The CDC recommended that travelers avoid all non-essential international travel to Jamaica. Some examples of essential travel may include traveling for humanitarian aid work, medical reasons, or family emergencies. It also said older adults, people of any age with certain underlying medical conditions, and others at increased risk for severe illness should consider postponing all travel, including essential travel to Jamaica. According to the CDC, if someone gets sick in Jamaica and need medical care, the resources may be limited. But Tourism Minister Edmund Bartlett says the listing is in line with most countries around the world, and so that was expected.
Tier 3 doesn't say you mustn't travel. What it says, is that you take precaution in terms of, the element of COVID incidences in those areas. So the truth is that we do not see this as being a necessarily damaging situation insofar as visitor arrivals may be concerned.
On the international scene, at least 17 people were killed and more than 100 injured when an Air India Express passenger plane repatriating Indians stranded by the COVID-19 pandemic overshot the runway in heavy rain. The Boeing 737 flight from Dubai to Calcutta International Airport was carrying 190 passengers and crew. Among them were 10 infants. Television footage showed rescue workers moving around the wreckage in pouring rain. The aircraft lay split into at least 2 chunks after the plane's fuselage sheared apart as it fell into a valley 35 feet below. That's news, but for the very latest, visit our website at www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, or like us on Facebook, and sign up for our breaking news alerts via WhatsApp. We're also on Izumi Media and bus terminals, as well as screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also hear us on Mix 96.9 FM and Capital Media HD 99.3 FM.